Western. Well, if you recognize that intro, you must have seen one. But if you've watched any Western, John Wayne or anything like that, you'll always see a lever gun. Generally, what you'll see is a Winchester, though, and it'll have an external hammer and a tube that comes up here. This is a Savage. It's a Savage Model 99C, actually. And its predecessor, which is, I think, the Model 92, was one of, if not the first lever gun to be able to shoot Spitzer rounds, which Spitzers are a pointed bullet. Which that's your pointed bullet there. So let's get the pointy tip. Whereas before that, they were all flat tip because they were in a tube and they were end to end. And in a center fire rifle, actually, there was a rimfire cartridge actually that was very popular at the very beginning, and the Henry rifle and all that. But that's another story for another time. But at any rate, these 308s, which is what this is chambered in, are a Spitzer round, and I think it was 303 Savage or 300 Savage was the original cartridge this was chambered in, and it was a pointy round, so it had this box magazine, so you'd be able to open it up and stack your bullets in the top, and it would just, I think it was a revolving magazine originally, but that's just the sort of stack on top one for the Model C. Which, so okay, we're into Model 99, and there's a few differences that they did. There was a round counter on like the full length version, and there's also this shot indicator, which you can see is popped up right here, and when you pull the trigger, it goes down, so you know when you're loaded. Okay, very simple. And the Model 99C, so it's got the C on the end, and C stands for carbine. So carbine is just basically a shorter rifle meant for the bush, you know, going through thicker terrain, so you don't want that long stock getting caught up and things like that, and you want to be able to turn very quickly with the thing. I've got a limb saver on this one, basically because I think this one, when I got it, didn't have a butt stock on it, so limb saver is a nice little answer for that kind of thing. Also, it gives you a little bit more length. Just because it is a very short gun and you're very tight otherwise, and even with the limb saver you're very tight with it. At least I'm very tight with it, I should say. And they also have a very different style of lever, so whereas the other levers, you don't see the hinge like this, this one's got a hinge lower, and it's just because it works this shorter bolt up here instead of the old tube-fed magazine. And the Model 99C, another interesting thing they've done with it is a detachable box magazine. Whereas the predecessors of the Model 99 were just a fixed magazine. I don't think they had the box just yet. It's also a flip-down sight, adjustable for different range. But the flip-down is basically for, you know, packing in your canoe or whatever and all that, so you're not busting up your sight. And some people would say, oh, well, that's not super accurate. Well, I mean, it's good enough. I've actually used this gun for shooting tannerite and small little peanut butter size jar, or not even like a jam size jar, but it was the tannery jar, which you're supposed to shoot in. And I tell you what, it was more accurate than any other gun that was there that day. You know what, I like these little guns. They're not too light, but they're light enough. But I mean, shooting a 308, you fairly want a little bit of weight there, just so it's not completely rocking the heck out of you. And I like these Horny Day the rounds. The Federal stuff's pretty good too. I think Federal has something to do with Horny Day or something like that. Not too sure. But yeah, so that one's chambered in a 308 round, which is a very common hunting round or plinking round or whatever. It's not super expensive. It's not super cheap. It's kind of middle of the road, and it's a very good trajectory and it's a very good power. Basically a 30 caliber round, you know, it buzzes along, and people use it for deer, bear, or even bigger game. You can go for the moose and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I tell you what, Model 99C, little known gem, you know. It's made in Massachusetts, I think. Westfield, Massachusetts. Yeah, Westfield, Massachusetts, USA. Kind of cool. You know, unfortunately it's not Canadian, but I mean, we can't all be perfect. But yeah, it's a pretty cool little gun, good for bushwhacking, and just a little known gem. So I hope you enjoyed that as much as I enjoy owning and shooting this thing from time to time. And if you want me to get this thing out and get it dirty, let me know. We can always do that. And yeah, so just let me know in the comments, and maybe we'll get that on film. And till next time, take her easy and be safe.